Plaintiff Kevin Hughes is suing his ex-wife, Judith Kowal, for an unpaid loan. Kevin claims Judith cheated on him and got pregnant by her current husband while they were still married. But Judith insists she didn't start dating her husband until she was separated. Judith says she left Kevin because he was a verbally abusive alcoholic and drug addict, and she's countersuing because he has not paid child support.
All right, Kevin Hughes is suing his ex-wife for an unpaid loan, and Judith Kowal is countersuing her ex-husband for back child support. How are you today, Kevin?
Okay.
Why are you here?
I'm here because me and my ex-wife, we were met and married in November of '83. We had 3 lovely children together. We got divorced in '95, but before that, I had custody of the children. But then she got me fired from my job because her cousin was my boss.
Back up. You said before you were divorced, you had custody.
Right.
But before you were divorced, you were married.
No, during this separation period.
Your Honor, we've...
Hold on a second.
While
how
we were
long
separated.
were you separated, Kevin?
5 years.
So you had custody of the 3 children?
Well, I had it until I lost my job.
No, that's
lost
all right.
my
But what
lawyer.
I'm saying, it's unusual back then for a father to have custody of 3 children during a separation period. Do you agree?
Right, 2 children. The baby stayed with the mother.
Oh, so you took the 2 older children.
Right.
Okay.
Your Honor, he
Yeah.
took the 2 older children.
You mean
He literally pulled down the street and took them. I had to go to court and fight to get them back.
did you get them back?
Yes, I did.
Okay, hold on. All right, is that true? You took them
No.
without any kind of custody order?
No, my daughter, she was having, they were sent out to sleep in the car while my ex-wife was having sex with this gentleman inside the cabin in the hills in Holland.
That's unfair.
And
Your Honor, that's
so my daughter told me this because I went in to tell mommy that I was scared, and mom told me, get out, get
Let
out.
me ask you a question, Kevin. At some point, did you lose custody?
Yes,
Why?
because I lost my job.
Okay, you got laid off. What's that got to do with your losing custody of the kids?
I didn't have no money to afford my lawyer. I
Why'd
don't
you
know.
lose the kids?
I can answer that.
I bet you can.
Go
I'm
ahead.
trying to get an
Go
answer out of him.
Go ahead, let her answer.
No, I want to hear from you.
I have no idea.
Okay, go ahead.
Your Honor, he lost custody of the children because Mr. Hughes is an alcoholic, is a drug abuser. I have my divorce papers stating right here why we were divorced. And in the divorce papers, it states cruel and inhuman treatment.
She was pregnant when we got divorced with another man's baby.
You have a child with this gentleman?
Your Honor,
Th-
no.
It's a yes or
2
no.
children.
It's easy.
No.
You don't have a child with him?
I have 2 children with him
So what are you saying no to?
because our divorce was in 93.
95.
93.
You're going to get in trouble now.
Oh, I believe it's 95, the final divorce.
I left Mr. Hughes July of 1990. My daughter Mariah was born in June of 92.
Okay. Your daughter was born in June of 92?
That's our
his
daughter.
Daughter? Okay. The divorce was granted in 1993, not 95. Get your facts. That's 2 years. That's a big deal. Why are you suing her?
Because she asked my daughter to ask me for a $1,000 loan so she could pay bills that she was behind on and go see my son Ryan in South Carolina.
Why is she going to see your son in South Carolina?
Because he was leaving to go to Iraq.
Did your son go?
Yes.
Is he there now?
Yes.
All right. Prayers are with him. How
Thank
old is
you.
he?
19.
Oh, good luck to you. Good luck to you. Okay, so where were you living at the time that you wanted to borrow the money to see your son?
I was still living in my dad's house.
Now, you loaned her money to go see your son before he went to Iraq.
All right, and I have proof, Your Honor,
All
from
right,
my
let's
daughter, the witness.
All right.
The statement she wrote out for you.
My mother told me to ask my father if she could borrow $1,000 to pay bills and visit my brother in South Carolina. So me and my father, Kevin, and my mother, Judith, went to the Bank of America, and my father, Kevin, gave my mother $1,000 cash. All right, so what was the agreement as it relates, Judith, to that $1,000?
That I was supposed to pay him back.
Have you paid him back?
I paid back, I believe, $250 of it, I believe.
How much has she paid back?
$220.
Okay, $220. And why haven't you paid back the rest of the $1,000?
Well, Your Honor, Mr. Hughes owes me for child support.
No, I don't.
I have never, ever received 1 penny from that man for child support. Not one.
Is that true?
Because 2 weeks after the divorce, Your Honor,
2 weeks after the divorce.
she called me up on the phone and she goes, I'm giving JoJo back to you, which is a nickname for my son, Kevin.
How old was Kevin at the time?
I think 6 years old. And I said, what? And she goes, I told him for the last 2 weeks since we've been divorced, if he doesn't clean his room, he's going back to live with you. I picked my son up and my ex-wife. We drove to the nearest bank. She signed a notary public giving custody of him to me so I could get him into school and everything else.
Is that true?
Your Honor, that is so not true. What happened was I was trying to get JoJo to do what he was told and to listen to us. But Mr. Hughes would always tell our son, you don't have to listen to them. They don't mean nothing.
All right. Well, you sent them back until he was 19, according to his statement. Your son has signed a statement saying that my mother gave me back to my father 2 weeks after the divorce, and I lived with him until I was 19 years old.
No, Your Honor.
Is your son lying?
Yes, my son is lying.
Why? Why would your son lie about this?
Ask him.
No, I'm asking you.
I don't know why my son would lie. I really don't. He's got his father's influence.
Are you saying that this son, JoJo, came back and lived with you at some point before he was 19?
Yes, he did.
Is he here by any chance?
No, he isn't. But what do I have to do? Get the Orchard Park school system where I went to school and I lived, and then we had, because he was slow, we had to train him out to the hotel.
Mr. Hughes, and I'll tell you why. Because you started off on the wrong foot. You don't even know what year you got divorced in. That's why you need evidence.
Your Honor, I also had the child support order.
Let's see the child support order. All right, so are you saying that this man, who is a father of 3 of your children, has never paid a cent of child support?
Not a penny, and here's the statement from our daughter.
Oh, my goodness. What is your name? Step up. What is your name, sir?
My name is Edward Fonville.
And when did you meet Judith?
1990.
Okay, so you met her before she was actually divorced?
Yes.
Okay. And you have a daughter or 2 children with Judith?
2 children with Judith.
Okay. And can you tell me what, if anything, was going on between Judith and Kevin regarding child support of the 3 children?
In the 18 years that I've known her, he's never paid a dime.
And what about JoJo? Did JoJo live with Judith or with Kevin?
JoJo split time.
I bet he did.
Kevin, we tried to give JoJo a stable environment. We bought a 6-bedroom home. So
How do you pay for all of this?
Well,
working 16 hours a day. I'm a carpenter, Your Honor, so I don't make a lot of money, but I make a decent living. Judith helped out whenever she could pick up part-time work.
I'm a CNA.
And what are you doing?
And she wouldn't let my daughter go to school. She let my daughter stay home and watch the kids.
Don't change the subject. What are you doing? They're telling me this guy's working 16 hours a day, and I don't care who slept with who. It doesn't matter. You got divorced. Let's assume that JoJo's statement is accurate, that he lived with you. You had 2 other kids. You never paid child support.
And she got me fired from my job. I got another job, and she got that fired.
Go to McDonald's.
And then I couldn't find where she lived. She moved, and I couldn't find her. And when I did find her, I went there for visitation with my paper. She called the Hamburg police on me. They came. Police said, stay right here. They went to the door, and she goes, no, I'm not seeing them. Police came back to me and said, this is a matter for you to take up in court.
Did you?
Huh?
Did you?
Yes.
And then did you get to see your kids?
Yes, I did. Then she moved again, and I couldn't find her.
Hogwash. Here's what I'm telling you what happened.
She moved to the west side.
What I'm telling you happened is, I don't care if this woman moved from Missouri to Mars. You go to the family court, you go in there for free, you file a petition saying you're not seeing your kids and you want to see your kids and you want to know where this woman is. She doesn't have the right to move without your knowing about it. But you know what I think is going on here? I think you didn't pay a penny of child support, which is why when the police responded, they didn't let you see the kids, because there was probably a warrant outstanding for you for not paying child support.
No, there wasn't. I had 1 kid and she had 2. She wasn't paying me nothing either.
Wow. Your Honor, the only reason
she was too busy hiding, running, so I couldn't see my kids.
How do you hide with 6 kids? I mean, how does that happen?
Ask her.
When we were in court for our divorce, this is your statement, Judith was pregnant with another man's child. I wanted custody of our children, and I had them while we were split up for about 5 years. Is that true?
No.
Once we were divorced, Judith had me fired. I was ordered to pay $25 a month for all 3 kids. Can I ask you a question? $25 a month for 3 kids. What can you buy at $6 a week and you didn't pay her?
I gave her $500 once. Do I have a receipt? No. It's all lies.
And this is about as dysfunctional as it gets. The issue for this court is whether or not you owe him money for that loan. Mm-hmm. Now, are you going to pay him the money?
I feel he owes me child support.
Oh, so you're going to balance it out?
Yes.
You can't.
Why did she borrow it?
She borrowed it because she wanted to see your son before he went to Iraq.
Right.
Okay, any woman worth her salt would do whatever she had to do to see her own son before he went off to war. You got to pay him.
Okay.
Why are you not paying him?
I'm still trying to get caught up.
Is there a period of time within which you agreed to pay him that money?
There was no period of time, no.
2 weeks. 2 weeks, she said.
Do we have an agreement?
She said, yes, I will pay you back
oral?
in 2 weeks.
This is an oral conversation?
My daughter, said, in front of my daughter, I will pay you back in 2 weeks when I get my federal check. Before the end of this month, Kevin, which is January.
All right. Now, let me ask you a question, Kevin. You say when you had custody of your son, she kept the children from you? When
Yes.
did she? Okay.
She moved around. I couldn't find her.
And do you think that if she keeps them away from you, that you don't have to pay child support?
No, because I had one of the children.
I
and
know.
She had the other children.
I know, but there were 2 other children.
Right.
Okay, so you think if she keeps them away from you, you don't have to pay child support?
No, I figured we'd split it. Or,
Okay.
I'll go back to
Let me explain something to you. Withholding visitation due to non-payment of child support is not something that anyone can do. It's in contravention of the law. And in your statement, Kevin, you make it very clear. Why would I owe her child support when I had custody of our son and she kept the children from me for so long? You can't decide on your own that you're not going to pay child support because somebody doesn't let you see the children. Family laws across this country have been written to address this issue where parents get angry with each other. They try to balance out the money and say, I'm not letting you see the kids because you didn't pay child support, or I got 1 and you got 2 and therefore I'm not giving you any money. Under no circumstances can either of you take the law into your own hands as it relates to child support. The issue for this court is very simple, and that is whether or not the defendant is obligated to pay the $1,000 that the plaintiff is seeking, or $780 if we deduct the $220 for money that was borrowed. Clearly, there was a meeting of the mind. Clearly, you are entitled to $780. But I got to tell you, Mr. Hughes, it is not something that I take any delight in ordering for you, because as far as I'm concerned, you got away with an enormous amount of money over the years while your wife and her new husband are taking care of your kids. Now, Joe, do not interrupt me. Any man who's obligated to pay $25 a month for 3 kids, or let's say it's 2 and bring it down to, $16 a month, isn't worth his salt, all right? You are countersuing for child support.
Yes, I am.
What you have to do is you have to go back to the court of original jurisdiction that ordered the child support. If I could, I would order that child support to you, all the back child support, and I would sit here and calculate the $25 for however many years I had to, because I think you're entitled to it. You go back to that court, that Buffalo family court, and you sue him for child support.
Oh, I planned on it, Your Honor. I'm also going to stop his Social Security.
Well, you know what? Whatever you've got to do. The truth is, you went through a lot in raising these kids. You're a good man, and you know what? I give you credit for what you do. As far as this court is concerned, I cannot give you back child support. But I want you to know that you have this court's moral support in doing whatever you have to do to get him to pay for those kids.
Thank you.
So be it.